Imagine this, you go to bed as normal, but when you wake up, 8 months have passed. You've missed Christmas, Easter, and every birthday in your family. For a rare group of people, mainly teenagers, this isn't fantasy, it's reality. They're trapped by a condition called Kleine-Levin Syndrome, but better known as Sleeping Beauty disease. Here's Rani Sadler.
When she was 14, Alanna Wong suddenly felt sleepy.
I don't feel good.
What do you feel like, honey?
I feel like I'm in a dream.
You feel like you're in a dream?
Soon Alanna would drift off to sleep. She wouldn't wake up for 8 months.
How does your head feel?
It hurts.
She wasn't in a coma. She'd been struck down by Sleeping Beauty disease, one of the world's rarest conditions. And most vulnerable are teenagers.
Okay, I want you to get some rest.
People can be completely normal and then switch to this state where, the brain doesn't work at all and they sleep all the time.
It's like you're trapped in a nightmare that you can't get out of.
She would just sleep 22, 23 hours.
For how long?
15, 16 days at a time.
I'm sorry you don't feel good. Love you, honey.
The Hawaiian island of Oahu. Here, time seems to stand still. And time is something Alanna Wong has had stolen by this strange disease.
You went to sleep on June 29th and you woke up in February.
Yeah, 8 months straight, and all that 8 months is wiped out. Like, I have no memory of summer, spring, or winter, part of winter. Whenever you think of Sleeping Beauty, you're thinking, oh, she's in a peaceful sleep. And that's not the case at all, because when you're sleeping during an episode, you have nightmares, you're frightened, you're scared.
How much of your life have you lost?
I've lost about 5 years.
You're 22 years old and you've lost 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, shut your eyes.
At 14, that was when I had my first major episode.
Okay, comfy.
I was at school.
I'm sorry you don't feel good.
And I fell asleep on the bathroom floor.
Love you. Night-night.
The illness comes and goes, but when it strikes, Alanna has an uncontrollable need to sleep for at least 20 hours a day, for weeks or months on end. She gets up briefly to eat and use the bathroom, but still doesn't wake, remaining in a trance-like state.
It's like I'm in a semi-conscious state. Like, I feel like my mind is trapped.
You don't really remember the last 4 days?
It's like, if I appear to be awake, I'm not really awake. It's like my mind is still in an altered state. My mind is still in a sleep state. Doctors misdiagnosed me with depression and possible schizophrenia.
Her eyes may be open, but Alanna is still very much asleep, unable to control her very strange behaviour.
Can you look at mommy for a minute?
What are you like when you're in an episode?
I feel like I'm in a dream.
When I'm in an episode, I am very childlike.
My head hurts.
It's like a drunk 3-year-old.
Nobody likes me.
I'm just
Alanna, stop.
What? Alanna.
obnoxious.
No!
I have a very ravenous appetite and I'm always hungry. I could eat as much as 3 men eat in, one day.
We eat enormous amount of food that normally they don't eat. In some circumstances, people have been reported to actually choke on food and actually die from trying to eat too much food, for example.
So new patients, you mean?
Yes. Do you think we are close, or?
So no, I don't think that we're close quite yet.
Stanford University's Professor Emmanuel Mignot is leading the search for a cure. If he succeeds, he'll be the Prince Charming of Sleeping Beauty disease. But it's proving harder than anyone anticipated.
Yes, Kleine-Levin is a complete medical mystery. We think that probably there is an infectious trigger to it, because very often patients start the episode by having some kind of cold-like symptoms, a stuffed nose and, feel bad, and then boom, they start an episode.
Alanna grew up in a close family. When she was 10, she began sleeping more than normal. Then the sleep episodes increased in frequency and duration.
How are you feeling? I feel like I'm in a dream.
It's taking over her life right now. This illness is so devastating because she doesn't have to get back once or twice or 3 times, but continually. She always does wake up and she always comes back. So...
Alanna's parents began videotaping her sleep episodes.
Then you fell ill on the 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th.
Scientists suspect the disease has something to do with the hypothalamus, the part of the brain that controls the sleep, wake and hunger cycles. Because it's so rare, many sufferers remain undiagnosed, confused and searching for answers as to what's happening to them.
It's not depression, it's not bipolar, it's not schizophrenia, it's not...
Getting a diagnosis is half the battle. On average, it takes 4 years to get a diagnosis of KLS. 4 years of not being diagnosed is miserable. Those are the toughest years.
And my heart just breaks for those children, for those people.
Not only were you struck down by this weird illness, but people didn't believe you.
Yeah.
16-year-old Annalee Bradbury is one of only 3 known Australians diagnosed with Sleeping Beauty disease.
Are you frightened? You know it's going to happen again.
Very frightened because I don't want it at all, but it's something I have to live with, so I'll put up with it.
Annalee grew up in Tamworth with her mum, stepdad and 2 older brothers. There was no sign of anything unusual in Annalee's life until the day she turned 13 and fell asleep at school. Then she fell asleep for a weekend and then a week.
It was some 3 months later, it happened again. And this time it was like 10 days. And this time we saw a lot more of the different behaviour, the real childlike 2-year-old.
And then at some point after that, you began to think it was mental illness.
We did. She'd have this real trance-like look where she could just stare straight through you, straight through anyone who come near her. It was like she was there, but nobody was home.
Oh, come on, you must have some favourite music. Get some favourite music into you.
During the times when the illness is dormant, Annalee is like any other teenager. But without warning, it will hit. And more of her life will be lost.
She's lost huge chunks of her life. She's missed parties, she's missed christenings, she's missed weddings. She's too scared to make long-term plans.
So she's basically sleeping her life away.
Huge chunks of it.
So right now I'm talking to a polite, articulate, confident young woman.
Yeah.
If we come back when you're in an episode, what will we find?
Just probably rude, non-talkative at all, non-smiling. Just not me at all.
3 weeks later, we got a call from Annalee's
Come and
mum.
have some brekkie. Rani's here. Do you want to take this out of your mouth? Do you want to come and have your lunch? We go and have some lunch?
Annalee had no memory of me. She was listless, staring and vacant.
Want some lunch?
You really don't like the Sleeping Beauty tag, do you?
No.
Why not?
I don't really feel very beautiful while I'm in it, so I don't know why it should be called Sleeping Beauty.
I got it in here for you already.
Hello?
Do you remember Rani?
Don't remember me, Rani? Hello?
Where are you going? Don't remember me?
Do you remember Rani?
Not really.
Remember? Remember Rani come and spoke to us before?
No.
Do you want sauce?
She did.
On or plate? Can you use words?
You did say that you wouldn't remember me. Having a good sleep?
Mum, I want a fork.
You want a fork? I'll get you a fork.
She's acting like a surly teenager.
I don't like that sauce. I want barbecue sauce.
But it's the disease talking, not Anna Lee.
Don't like it.
Most patients with KLS get cured eventually.
You don't remember at all when we came round last time and we had a chat?
The problem is it usually happens around the age 30. So, I mean, it's something that you are going to have to live for the long haul, for the entire adolescence and early adulthood. And it's really very, very difficult.
In Hawaii, years after finally being diagnosed,
I don't like the noise.
Alanna is returning to her old self. The episodes are much less frequent. Now she's catching up on the time she lost. Back in Australia, Anna Lee has no idea when the illness will leave her and no idea when it will strike again. What are your fears for the future?
That I won't be able to get a job. I probably won't be able to follow my dreams.
You worry?
Yeah,
Do you worry a lot?
very. Even when I'm not in an episode yet.
And you wonder why this happened to you?
Yeah.
Rani Sadler reporting there, and you can find details of support groups on our website.